Welcome to episode 2 of our new mini-series, Angels and Demons. We know from episode 1 that angels actually exist. If you haven't seen it, we'll put a link to it in the description below. Check it out. We also know from episode 1 that there's a lot of misconceptions out there about what angels are really like. How pop culture often depicts them is usually pretty inaccurate. So, if that's not what angels are like, well, what do they actually look like? Are they jacked? How big are their wings? Do they carry fiery swords? Are we going to get wings when we die? These are all questions we're going to cover in today's episode. So first, what do angels actually look like? Are they ripped? Are their wings huge? Well, actually, no. The first thing to realize when we're talking about how angels look is that they don't actually look like anything at all. And the reason for this is because they don't have bodies. Not that they're invisible, but they don't have bodies at all. They're not material. What we mean by that is they're not made of physical stuff. Rather, they're pure spirit. We don't mean pure in the sense of clean or immaculate or perfectly good. You know, spirits that are perfectly good, which they are, by the way. But demons are also pure spirit, and they're certainly not perfectly good. Pure spirit means that they're total spirit, that everything about them is spiritual. They're not physical or material at all. They are completely spirits. They have no bodies. Okay, so what do we mean by completely spiritual and not physical? What is spirit? Is it a higher dimension or something from science fiction? Not really. It's not like how sci-fi movies talk about different dimensions, because those are still material. They're just higher dimensions of space or time or whatnot. Okay, so is it a magical realm or something from fantasy? Well, no, because those are made up. The spiritual world is not imaginary. It's very real. In fact, it's more real than this physical world. This world is passing away. Things that are physical die. Things that are spiritual live forever. They're eternal. So, what does it mean to be spiritual? What is spirit? Essentially, two things: intellect and will. Intellect is the power of thinking, rational, conscious, deliberate understanding. This isn't the same thing as perceiving with our senses, like seeing something. That's the work of a bodily organ, like an eye. For example, think of a dog. A dog can perceive things with its senses. It can see, it can smell, it even has instinct, but it doesn't have an intellect. It can know things, it can understand things, but it can't think. It can't reason. It knows, but it doesn't know that it knows. Humans, on the other hand, have intellects. We can think, and we can think about the fact that we're thinking. We can think about what we're thinking about. This is because humans also are spirits, but we're more than spirits. We're a composite. We're body and spirit, body and soul. Angels and demons, on the other hand, are not a composite. They are pure spirit, and as spirits, they have intellects. The second thing spirits have is a will. The will is the power of choosing, to deliberately choose, to deliberately hate, to deliberately love. This isn't the same thing as bodily feelings or emotions like hunger or attraction. It's a choice. The ability to not just act out of instinct, again, like a dog, but to choose. That's a spiritual ability. Humans have free will because we are part spirit. Angels and demons also have wills, only theirs are so strong that when they make a choice, they never go back on it. They're able to give 100% of their will completely in one moment. We usually go back and forth and back and forth. Angels and demons don't. Part of this is because their intellects are so powerful, they know everything they need to know about a choice before they make it. And when they do make it, they make it completely. This is why demons will never convert and become good, and why angels will never turn bad. Because God already gave them that choice, and when they chose completely. They each knew exactly what they were doing, far more so than we do, which is crazy, because it means that every demon knew that he was choosing hell for eternity, and knew exactly what that choice meant, and did it anyway. This is also why demons are our total, complete enemies. They will never want what's good for us. They would rather spend forever in hell than have one of us be happy. Think about that. That's how much they hate us. That's how much they hate you. They are not ever worth listening to. But that's why angels are such powerful allies. They will always want what's best for us, 100%. They will give themselves to help us, 100%. They would do anything to help us and to bring us closer to God. The trouble is, we often don't ask. We don't use them. There they are, just standing on the sidelines, waiting to jump in the battle and pwn some face. And there we are, just dirt-de-dur, oblivious. Pray to angels. Ask them to help you. They can and they want to. So getting back though, what do angels look like? Angels don't have bodies. They're pure spirits. They're purely intellect and will. So they don't have a lot of the things that we typically associate with how angels look. They don't have wings, no bodies, no physical attributes, no wings. So they're not jacked because they don't have muscles, but they are insanely strong. They don't carry around physical swords made of fire because literal fire is material. But they are fearsome warriors, and the damage they can deal would be like being cut with a fiery sword. Scripture uses physical images and symbols to convey very real spiritual truths about angels, and it does so because we'd have a hard time understanding it any other way. We're physical creatures. We think that way. We imagine that way. And so often, we need physical images and symbols to try to get an idea of what's really going on. So this gets to one of our questions. Do we get wings after we die? Do we become angels? Actually, this seems to be a pretty popular belief. The idea that when we die, we become angels and get our wings. And actually, this is one of the topics that we go into detail in our next episode, episode 3. So stick around. Hope to see you there. Until then, hit that like button if you learned something new. Subscribe if you'd like to see more. This has been Angels and Demons.